Cat here. I realized I haven't uploaded in a while. Well, a normal video, that is. And because I was feeling a bit arty lately, I thought this would be the best time to make one. I've been in like a big OC mood, particularly designing OCs mood. So I thought I'd finally do the art challenge, where you design OCs based off the various mood boards that you can find on Pinterest. This was a trend here on YouTube a few years ago, but I can't really remember the exact time or year. But I've always wanted to do it. I just felt the mood boards on Pinterest were too hard to design OCs from, and honestly I still do think that. But instead of expecting amazing full ideas like I always see other people have, I figured I'd be more lax about it, while also pushing myself to do something that seems hard. I feel I've been too permissive on giving up lately, if we're being honest. Basically, I gave myself 10 minutes to save as many boards that catch my eye as possible to a specific board for mood boards. Man, take a drink every time I say board in this intro, right? Anyway, after the time's up, I pick 3 or more boards that catch my eye amongst the crowd. And then I just follow the vibes for the designs on the 3 I managed to squeeze OCs out of. There is no need to fret over putting everything from the boards into the OC because currently that is too hard for my brain, which is what I did for the following designs. I did try to implement stuff, don't get me wrong, but overall it is mostly just vibes based at the end of the day because it's hard. Yeah, so if my rambles become more boring, that's probably why. I work better if the creative spirit doesn't have the other part of my brain watching, so to speak. And for the first mood board, this one just stood out because of the warmer tones and almost dreamy mood to it. Kind of reminds me of like dreamcore stuff, if I'm being honest. And upon closer inspection, there is kidcore elements, which can also appear in dreamcore stuff. So I tried to go that route, the kidcore route, not the dreamcore. Ooh, a dreamcore OC would be fun though. Anyway, I also tried to add harlequin stuff. Kinda, sorta. I don't think I did that very good. Mainly just that puffy thing around the neck. I referenced kidcore clothes from Pinterest for about 2 seconds before improvising since I mainly wanted to do the fox idea that was on the board. Surprise, surprise! The furry whose comic MC is a fox loves foxes. Anyway, while designing this little guy, or gal, I wanted to make a trickster adult kitsune at first, dressed like this. Hence why, while I was brainstorming, I started drawing a more mature face in my other style, but the outfit and the age didn't work together very well, so I tried a more mature look, but stopped, as I wouldn't be able to use the hair I did that fit the little fox painting in the center of the mood board. I kept that sketch though, because maybe I can use them elsewhere. After that, I went on to slap in some colors to finish off the concept before officially drawing it, and man, the colors gave me some trouble. Well, the colors gave me a lot of trouble, as I do not draw kidcore stuff, or in like palettes that are mostly warm like this, or just clowny stuff. I ended up having to return after I did the other designs concepts, and guess what? It ended up working out in my favor. In my opinion, anyway. I just had to homogenize the colors a bit more, and it worked. Now, not only does this kid look good, but I think it fit the idea I had in my head while making them, which is basically an OP kid that just wants to have fun. Think the collector from the Owl House, but simultaneously homicidal like Chucky. Don't ask why. A fan song from like several years ago started playing in my head while drawing this character, and I love some colorful maniac OCs, so win-win. It also happens to be why I named them Chucky, even without really deciding on it being a boy or a girl. I'm kind of going the cookie run route of making it a they, them, if you can't decide. Well, or at least that's what I've kind of gathered. Maybe there's like real thought put into it, but for my OCs, I really don't. But it works out, you know. I'm making a lot of non-binary OCs lately, though. Because of that. Yeah, well. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed Chucky and what little thoughts I had with them. And now let's move on to the next one, which I called... Worm on a String Dragon! Now, I know, that is the best title in the world. Hold the applause.
Oh, you stink!
I had no idea what I wanted to do with this. I just liked how the board looked and I said, that'll make something. And I was right, it helped make something. Originally, I wanted to do a more bipedal character, but I didn't want to make basically a furry worm on a string character. Love it when people do that, but I just didn't want to. I went to Pinterest for others worm on a string on sea ideas, and there were a lot of those, but then I saw some with legs but are still worms on strings. It reminded me of an old painting doodle I did once in a sketchbook of a worm on a string dragon. So I decided I'd just go with that route, you know? But instead of just recreating what I did in my sketchbook, I thought I'd do that lung dragon or whatever. No wings, just legs and a giant ash worm on a string. Partway through the concept, I realized most of the design is probably just going to be in the coloring and such, so I decided to stop after a point to finish in the video, as y'all can see. And as you can see, I basically got most of the thing designed. I don't know. I don't usually design by blocking in colors since that's annoyingly hard, but something that ended up being the easier thing to do here. Tell you what. I already knew how to use the stars, but the flowers did kind of stun me with this worm on a string, which you'll see later that I completely ignored them. And it's all good. People just see the colors and the worms, you know? Maybe if I did a real background with this character, I would have put the worm on a string dragon in a meadow or something, but I didn't. After doing nonsense for Chucky's background, I tried to do the same here. It wasn't bad, but it isn't giving the same energy as the Chucky background, which I guess for a different character that'd be a given, but I still felt something was missing. Oh well, just kinda appreciate it not looking absolutely awful and call it a day. Same for how poorly written this part of the script is. I don't know how to fix it though. So I'm sorry if this babbling is a little off. But hey, pro tip to everybody, if it isn't perfect, then just chill. That means a breathtaking piece is brewing in you and it needs to siphon all your current art's power. And apparently all of your script writing power as well. And finally the last one! So many wings. Still using my masterful naming skills as you can see. Funny enough, I had half an idea already for this one going in. Hence why it was not only saved, but also chosen as one of the inspirations. However, that is all it was. Half an idea. I wanted to do something angelic, but not a normal angel, you know? The dog's really fuzzy ears made me want, like, wing ears, and since I did refrain from going furry routes for the other two designs, I gave myself permission to do it here. Turn the dog into, like, a werewolf angel that had been chained up. The chains came after I started brainstorming, since I didn't notice the chains on the ankle on the board until later. I don't mind, it allowed me a little more thinking time, honestly. However, I still had no complete idea, so I just blocked in a nice little pose and started adding wings to it. And eventually, there were 6 wings, and 1 set of normal arms. Love it! Which is weird, because I have never blocked in stuff for sketching or designing characters until today. Well, except for one time, but it came in clutch several times for this video. I couldn't just stick to one color like I've seen other people do, but I still was able to do the whole silhouette dealy with like a second color to help. I tried to sketch out a more open pose after I was satisfied with the shapes I came up with here that read easier, but I didn't like it as much as my first sketch, which looks tortured. So I just adjusted it so the wing that covered up too much didn't cover up as much, and I think I like it. Not the most complex design, but I love it. My little were-dog angel. Using the sketch pose probably made this piece go by faster than it would have if I had completely sketched a new pose, and I am honestly grateful. See, when I eventually got around to actually working on this character design, like the finished art, I was having a bad art day and nothing was turning out good, or at least in my eyes, nothing was turning out good. In your eyes, it could be different. I'm not showing you all the other stuff I was working on that day though. Anyway, even the pieces I was finishing up that had the most of the thinking done already on a different day did not look good. So having this piece simplify that kind of day was such a lifesaver. Granted, I still didn't draw the wings that good. But overall, I think I beat said bad art day, don't you think? Definitely going to study feather wings though after this. I haven't done that in so long, and this winged angel thing really shows it. Anyway, thank you all for watching my video and my character designs. Sorry if my rambles got a little incoherent there. I'm still working on my scripts. But other than that, do you have a favorite design of the three? I personally like the first one the best. The last one's kind of growing on me too, to be honest. But it would be nice to hear what y'all's opinions are. And I hope to see y'all next time I make something like this, because it was fun. Bye-bye!